What happens when one of the most trusted small SUVs on the road finally goes hybrid? Today, we're breaking down the 2026 Subaru Forester Hybrid, a fully redesigned model that promises better fuel economy and more power without sacrificing what Forester owners already love. The Forester isn't the most powerful, the most luxurious, or the most high-tech SUV here. But Consumer Reports doesn't crown winners based on spec sheets. They rank real-world reliability, safety, owner satisfaction, and long-term value, and that's where the Forester dominates. This SUV has built its reputation on comfort, visibility, and everyday usability, and expectations were high when Subaru announced a hybrid version. We're talking real-world pricing, standard features, where it's built, and whether paying extra for the hybrid system actually makes sense. By the end of this review, you'll know if the Forester Hybrid is a smart upgrade or just an expensive badge. Let's get into it. Powertrain. The biggest reason to choose the 2026 Subaru Forester Hybrid is what's under the hood. It pairs a 2.5-liter flat-4 engine with a 1.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, an electric CVT, and Subaru's standard all-wheel drive. Combined output rises to 194 horsepower, a 14 horsepower gain over the gas model. That extra torque means less engine strain, reduced CVT noise, and smoother acceleration. Around town, light throttle inputs allow short stretches of all-electric driving, especially at low speeds. While the hybrid adds roughly 300 pounds, it feels more planted and quieter overall. Fuel economy is rated at 35 miles per gallon combined, and with the same 16.6-gallon tank, Subaru estimates an impressive 581-mile driving range. On long drives, a quiet cabin matters, and the Forester Hybrid delivers less engine noise overall. Wind noise is more noticeable, likely due to the SUV's upright shape, but the drivetrain itself is clearly quieter than the standard model. The added weight and revised suspension tuning noticeably improve ride comfort, easily soaking up rough pavement without feeling unsettled. Despite the soft, compliant ride, handling remains solid for the segment, more confident than sporty, though not as sharp as a Mazda CX-5. Ground clearance is unchanged from the regular Forester, so light off-road use like dirt roads is no problem. Visibility remains class-leading, and the hybrid adds standard blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert for extra safety. Interior impressions. Stepping inside, the Forester Hybrid looks nearly identical to the standard model. Aside from a few subtle hybrid badges, you wouldn't know it's electrified, and that's not a bad thing. Many of the Forester's best qualities carry over, especially ease of entry. The seat height feels spot on, letting you slide in effortlessly. Wide doors, a low sill, and generous rear access make getting in and out simple. From the driver's seat, the elevated seating position stands out. You sit high without sacrificing headroom. Even taller drivers should feel comfortable. The center console is thoughtfully shaped, with a padded knee cutout that adds comfort on longer drives. Material quality mirrors the regular Forester. There's nice stitching on the steering wheel and doors, mixed with plenty of hard plastics. Subaru breaks things up with varied textures, subtle trim, and muted accents, giving the cabin a durable, practical feel rather than a luxury vibe. Storage is somewhat limited. The center bin is deep but narrow, though the rubber-lined wireless charger is a nice touch. Overall, the seats earn praise for support and comfort, even on long trips, with helpful lumbar adjustment included. Controls. The Forester Hybrid keeps the same clean, user-friendly control layout as the standard Forester, which is a big plus. The gear selector is intuitive, and Subaru wisely retains physical knobs for volume and tuning. Everything feels so straightforward that you can jump in and drive without cracking open the owner's manual. Most trims use an 11.6-inch vertical touchscreen that handles infotainment and climate functions, while the hybrid stands out with a customizable 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. That said, the tall screen layout pushes the climate controls toward the bottom, which isn't ideal. Basic temperature changes are easy thanks to physical buttons, but adjusting airflow direction requires diving into a small on-screen menu that sits low and can be distracting while driving. The hybrid also showcases Subaru's latest built-in navigation system, and honestly, it feels dated. Response times are slow, and the voice command system demands very specific phrasing. Casual requests often lead to confusion or extra steps, which quickly becomes frustrating. Thankfully, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are available, making it easy to skip Subaru's native system altogether. Infotainment. The Forester Hybrid features Subaru's newest driver information display, and visually, it's a strong showing. The graphics are crisp, easy to read, and laid out in a way that doesn't overwhelm. A small toggle on the left side of the steering wheel lets you cycle through useful data, including hybrid system activity, Bluetooth status, trip mileage, and fuel economy. Where things fall apart a bit is how you change display layouts. Instead of a simple tap or scroll, Subaru requires you to press and hold the menu button on the steering wheel. Holding it cycles through different views: navigation, basic gauges with driver assistance info, and then a full gauge display. It works, but it's far from intuitive, especially since there's no clear indication that holding the button is the key. The information itself is genuinely helpful and well presented. The issue isn't what Subaru shows you, it's how you access it. That extra learning step feels unnecessary and slightly frustrating in an otherwise user-friendly system. Cargo space. Just like the standard Forester, the Forester Hybrid delivers an excellent cargo area. The load floor is flat, the opening is wide, and the space is tall and easy to use. The big win here is that going hybrid doesn't cost you any cargo room, a compromise that's common in many hybrid SUVs. Subaru manages this by placing the hybrid battery pack beneath the cargo floor. Lift the floor panel, and that's where most of the hybrid hardware lives. The trade-off, however, is the absence of a spare tire. There isn't even a temporary spare, since that space is now occupied by the battery. Instead, Subaru provides a tire sealant kit, stored in a small compartment near the rear. It's meant to temporarily inflate and seal a damaged tire so you can reach a repair shop. This setup highlights a broader trend seen in Consumer Reports testing. When comparing hybrid and non-hybrid versions, cargo space and ground clearance often remain unchanged, while standard safety features and fuel economy improve. For buyers, that means fewer compromises than you might expect when choosing the hybrid option.